real star. He was looking like a real stud, but we just haven't seen it in this tournament. So Mirage would be the perfect map for him to show up. Let's see if he can do it. We're heading into Mirage, and we're hoping to see an entirely different Nip on this map.
Oh, we need a completely different face going into this next map. It's do or die time for NIP. They lose this map, they are definitely in a bad spot moving forward. DreamHack Favin with the 2 initial kills. It's Rez with a headshot. Favin goes down. A 4 versus 3 and a man advantage in play for Sprout as DreamHack follows up with a headshot. Rez and Knock. Oh, they're the last 2 players, and it looks like Knock is just knocking at heaven's door right now. 1 versus 3. He's not really looking like he's in with much of a chance.
3 players stacked on B at the start of this round for Sprout was always going to be a hard task to overcome. They're not even giving Nork this first fight. They're baiting him in. They're forcing him to commit to this position, and then they can fight him together. Now they know exactly where Nork is, and they're still playing it patiently. I love this from Sprout. Not getting overeager, not giving the game away, and as soon as he jumps into the open, Dennis has an easy kill on his hands. Good patience from Sprout. They knew exactly what they needed to do to close that one out. They pick up the early pistol. And as for Nip, they could go for a save here if they wanted to try and get those AKs out as soon as possible. Normally, you do see teams buy Deegs in this round, but I don't mind the full eco in this one. That pistol clearly didn't go according to plan, but if you get AKs out in the next, you can probably have the weaponry advantage.
Well, NIP just slowly approaching this round. 4 players on the A ramp. They have 0 investment. So this round is certainly going to be one Sprout should be picking up with no problems. The nade, oh, nearly catches Plopsky, but it's not enough damage done to finally eliminate him. Instead, the first kill will come in towards Underpass. It's Hampus that is the victim. And now Sprout with the man advantage. We'll just be looking to not lose any of the players. Keep all the players intact, build as much money up as possible, and it looks like that's going to happen. I'd be letting Favin run after this last one, and he will go and get it. 3 kills for him so far in the server, 2 in that round. Good bit of money built up, but it's all onto this round. NIP, we said it, Alex. They need a good start. They need to start firing early on a Mirage, and they have a chance to do it with this first gun round.
Definitely watching out for Rez in this one. I'm watching if they go for that mid control. He was really good at getting some of those early kills, but he's not going to be going mid at the start of this round because Nip have something else in mind. They're all leaning into this A site. Dennis getting aggressive though. Sprout again playing with no fear right now, but Snatchy misses that shot. That was a sitter. He had to get that kill because now Dennis is in trouble. Plopsky hunting down 2 kills. Nip are onto that A site way too easily.
Yeah, they just walked on. There's no defense whatsoever. Dennis getting 1 kill, but that's not going to be enough on the hold. Twist, that's a lot of damage done onto him. He will get the bomb plant. He'll still be on 42 HP. Sprout's chances of winning this retake are very slim, especially with this position from Rats. He should be taking this kill, and no way Favin wins that aim duel. Now Sprout back in with a chance. Plopsky's position is everything, and he goes down immediately as well. Nothing going right for NIP into this post plant. Finally, something goes their way, but it's only the 1 kill, and now it's all on Knock. A 1v2 to hold off the post plant, and he's done it. The retake will not be coming through. It's NIP with a first on the board.
A very close round, but Nip saving for the AKs early pays off for them. Sprout's money is now in trouble, and this is again the round. It should never have come down to this, but he does a good job at spraying both of those players. And now Sprout do have to go down to a weaker buy, and that's why I liked Nip saving for those AKs earlier, right? They get that round win, and instantly, you know you're pressuring that CT economy. You know you're making it difficult for Sprout. And in this round, Sprout are actually sitting back. They're not going for that same aggression, and Nip are going for the same strat. A execute about to come through.
Spitty. He had the cross, but no kill. And I think I like this call, Alex. I do like this call from NIP. Just to walk back to the A side. See, there was a clear weakness in that last round. Well, it came down to the weakness that it was the post plant from NIP. If they could play that one better, they tighten up the ship, well, they should be having a good bit of success. But somehow Sprout have got the man advantage. Hampus at least gets 1 kill, but Favin burning in the Molotov. Knock with a 2nd kill. He has saved their ass in a lot of these rounds now, Alex.
Oh, and another on the end. 3 kills for Nork. You can see that he's the man oftentimes in the back lines, right? So it's important that they get onto the site in the first place and put him in these positions where he can actually have a chance to get some kills. As long as that can keep happening, he can keep delivering. It's been Nork with the AK so far that's been making it happen for them. Sprout taking an early timeout here, but I don't think there's much to discuss ahead of this next round. They're not really going to have much of anything to work with. So a couple of quick A plays for Nip. Sprout not able to defend it both times. First time round, they tried to fight for the site. That didn't work for them. Second time round, they tried to play for retake, and that looked a little bit better. It came close for them. There was definitely a chance that they could have won that round, but I think Fav burning to the molly really made a big difference there. That put them in the 2v2. And now we'll just see what Sprout can do on this save. I assume the answer will be not much. But definitely good signs for Nip. Getting some early rounds on the board, like you said. Very important for them. And they're thinking of going straight back to this A site, Dinko. I guess if it keeps working, why not do it again and again?
Yeah, it's the old Virtus Pro mentality. Just run at one bomb site. If it kept working, why change it? They'll keep doing that until you stop them. And Sprout, they don't really have the weaponry or the utility to stop them right now at all. So NIP should be walking swiftly into this A bomb site. What I would love, Alex, is to know whether or not NIP are going to do that in the next round. Sprout must have that in the back of their head.
I was going to say, I'm sure Sprout would love to know that too. I'm sure they'd love to know what Lip are going to do in that next round. Definitely some early conditioning going on here. And this is kind of... It's kind of a similar concept in poker that I see sometimes, is that you see some guy betting at you every single time, and you think to yourself, okay, this time, he must not have it. I'm going to call him. And then every time you make that decision, all of a sudden, they do have it, and you lose. And that could happen here, right? If Sprout stack that A site, that would be a shame.
Yeah. And just a bit of a gamble, of course, but nonetheless, we'll see if NIP go for the A attack again. You know what? I'm going to say, I just want them to do it, Alex. I want them to have the balls to do it, have a bit of confidence in themselves, just run at the A site. Just try it again. Because Sprout did have a lot of weaknesses there in that first gun round. They did have the caveat of obviously having a weaker weaponry. That's something they don't really have coming into this round, but they don't have it all. They don't have much utility. This is a perfect round to do it. Just fire that A hit at them again, but NIP not really going for it straight away, but there might just be an A split actually coming through here. The players just dive into connector. We've got one player up short at least. Actually, taking quite a bit of map control right off the bat, Alex.
Yeah, Sprout had stacked the A site in this round. They've got 3 players here, and they're going to get aggressive. Plopsky loses the fight, but thankfully Nork is there to trade. So it's not as bad as it could have been. Now DreamHack playing a dangerous game there. Vent gets shot out beneath him. He realizes probably not a fight he wants to take. Puts that smoke down defensively. Again, though, these A players are in kind of uncomfortable spots right now. Mid is open. There's a player flanking through stairs. They've got to be scared of that.
Oh no. Hampus, he doesn't want to make the noise. He's done it. He has to. Dennis with the headshot. That's a good kill to find. That might just be the turning of the tides, but Nork, how many times has he pulled the round out of the bargain? Well, Rez up on short as well. DreamHack just wasn't ready for it, and this round has just fallen apart for Sprout. Favin desperately needing to do something. They have no control of that B-bomb site. None at all. And Rez is cutting off the rotations, and Favin just had to swing out middle. He had 2 options. It was a 50-50. If he wants to swing out mid, if he wants to get out quickly, he's got to commit to one angle. And he chose the wrong one. Dennis, now with an AK in hand, he's got $300 in the bank, no kit into this round, and 46 HP. I think it's a pretty good case to save. And that's going to be 4 rounds for NIP. Fantastic start on the Mirage. I have to say, a couple of rounds at the start were looking a little rough. And yet again, Nork finding a multi-kill into this round. He's 10-2, 124 ADR. That's going to increase going into the next round, I believe. He's been having a fantastic showing on Mirage, and that's exactly what I want to see, because he was the player who was delivering on the previous map. He was showing up, he was having an impact, even when NIP weren't.
And definitely good to see Rez getting involved as well. He's really good in those short positions, it seems, Rez. He loves going back to that spot. Always seems to get the angles right. Nork's just died to the bomb. We won't talk about that for too long, though, Nork. We won't embarrass you too much because you've been having a good game so far. These were those kills from Nork, but I really like the patience from Rez. He stayed in that spot for so long, and then here as well, he heard the steps, and instead of just backing away and trying to take the B site, he realized he's probably got a favorable fight here. He's probably got a fight that's going to be good for him. So nice round from Rez, playing the patience game well in that one. Now Sprout really don't have much to work with in this follow-up round. Just that one AK that was saved.
Don't really like it when the one saved weapon has to do all the work, right? You're never really going to feel comfortable about that one. So we should be looking at a 5th round for NIP, this time testing the waters over towards B. I'll throw the itchy grenade on him. Plop skill check the close corners. Faven currently playing inside of the site with a 5-7, just jumping for information. At this point, NIP, are they just going to commit to the B bomb site with no info? That could be a little bit worrying. Under a minute left now in play. The bomb is coming over here. You've got 2 players inside of the site for Sprout, and the 3rd rotating it over, and they also have a player in ladder room. So they have quite a few players over towards this side of the map, and this is the best chance for them to do some damage.
Good entry from Plopsky, pushing into the site. Plopsky picks up a 2nd kill. There's still a man at Van. That molly hasn't spread to him, but Plopsky is doing all the damage. And it's up to Spiddy, who was over on the other side of the map. So this one will be taken cleanly by NIP. I think they'd just forgotten what that B site looked like, Dinko. They wanted to have another little look themselves. Booked a hotel on the B site. Turned out it wasn't as nice of a hotel as they wanted. They didn't exactly get a good welcome at the door. But hey, at least they win the round. 5-2 in favor of NIP. Here comes the double AWP setup, though. This is the switch up that Sprout have been waiting for.
Well, Snatchy over the top of Khan. He'll check out to the right side of the smoke. A couple of players crossing over, and it's Rez who will be the victim of Snatchy on the AWP. Twist feels like he is the player to make the play. He might just go down to the AWP of Spiddy. This double AWP setup immediately finding success for Sprout.
Yeah, I think Twist there got baited by the fact that Snatchy fired that shot with the AWP towards mid. I think he just assumed it was the single AWP and was just happy to take an aim fight. Little did he know there was a sniper up against him, but Nork is still going strong. Finally, Dennis finds him. Hampers here on the flank, though, gets another kill. There's only one man left on the playing from Palace, and Dennis goes for the fight in the open, and he wins them both. Important round from Dennis, up to 10 kills on the board. And Sprout finally find another round win.
Yeah, 5-3. Sprout really working that double AWP setup in their favor. The problem is they don't have it in this round. It is just the one AWP. Snatchy, oh, it's not the fantastic start Sprout would have been looking for. Dennis is down now. Snatchy really needs to get this kill. He'll hit the shot, but it's not death. And now Snatchy, well, he's just screwed. He's gone. Campus just swings out the underpass. Luckily, Spiddy gets 1 kill, but NIP have won every single battle. And this is looking like a locked-in round, unless Faven can pull off what would be truly miraculous. And he's got himself a 1 versus 3 now, a 1v4 in total. He has wrapped back to safety at jungle, but this bomb is going into an empty B bomb site, and Faven is just so far removed. He still has to deal with Rez, who is cutting off the rotations, playing from the chair. And Sprout, well, they can't put 2 together, and this has not been the start that Sprout would have been looking for. NIP, this is what I was talking about. This is what they needed to get off to a good start, where these individuals can start to feel the game a little bit. Luckily, Knock was there to bail them out of a couple of those scary early rounds. But now we're starting to see the rest of the team show up. Or at least have some moments. Knock's still very far ahead in terms of the kills and the impact he's delivered.
Definitely looking better for them across the board, though, as you said. Just having, even just the players getting a kill each in this round, right? It makes a big difference. Faven having to save on the CT side. Now, the money for Sprout is kind of there. I think they probably will be buying here, with Faven having saved that one. Snatchy already dropping over a gun. Orc back into Snatchy's hands. He's been a bit quiet here. He's missed a couple of shots early. There was that one round where he was able to land a shot from Connector, but other than that, we haven't seen too much from this Orc so far. I'd love to see that change now, but Nork also has an Orc over on the T side, so that's something that Sprout have to be scared of, considering how he started this game.
Hampus in middle. Some early mid control established yet again for an IP. And that mid window pick was gifted to them by Dennis in that previous round. They found that with no real troubles. And as soon as Dennis goes down, obviously Snatchy is just completely limited in terms of what he can do. So that mid control was a big problem for Sprout in the previous round. And we'll see if they can figure it out in this one. They haven't quite figured out how to control middle. Instead, Alex, they've just given it up. And that's a different approach. It's certainly a viable one, as long as the A hold itself is strong. And now the attack comes in. Oh no, the team damage, they all line up. It's chaos on the A hold, and chaos the NIP will love. They will revel in it. They find themselves the round win, and that is yet again just a terrible round from Sprout. I have to feel like this CT side's a little bit jittery. They don't really know what's going on. Not everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, they do not look comfortable on that A-sided hold, especially because that round, Hampus was waiting in connector the whole time, trying to find a flank, trying to wait for those fights to begin and then get into a good position. But Hampus wasn't even needed, because it was just the ramp players and the palace players for NIP that got all the kills between them. It feels like right now, Sprout aren't able to hold, and they're actually playing on the site itself. They're not really able to work together well enough. They're not lining up those crossfires. I'm sure that's something they're talking about right now. They may try and start playing for retake on that A site. That definitely could be an option for them, considering how this one started. Faven's just bought an Orc glass cannon. Now, the rest of the team can't really afford to buy Dinko. I guess Faven's going to go for the hero AWP in this round then. The rest of them just picking up the pistols. But yeah, investing pretty much all his money into this one gun. It's a lot of pressure for him to live up to in this one.
Pistols are off to a pretty bad start, but the position from Dennis could have reaped some sort of reward, but Rez is playing from a very passive position, was able to fall for that aggression. He spots him out, completely neutralized. Now Hampus looking to follow up. He will fall to the deagle of DreamHack that was boosted up on the trash can. And now with round 11 in play, NIP will be looking for the 8th round. DreamHack scrapping together, has got a double kill, and Sprout now out of this one. DreamHack somehow getting a 3rd kill, and Dennis atop the wood finds Twist. That is ridiculous. What a round from DreamHack on the AK, and that's Sprout with 4. That is the hero round for DreamHack. We've been waiting for him to do something like this on Mirage. Like you said, coming into this one, we've seen a huge performance from DreamHack on Mirage the last time these two teams played each other, and DreamHack was off to a pretty slow start for Sprout, but that's the kind of round that can fire him up. That's the kind of round that gets DreamHack onto the map.
I guess Faven just bought that AWP as a good luck charm then. He didn't even need to fire it. He didn't even need to use it. DreamHack gets that first fight, gets an AK into his hands, and Nip realized that they made a mistake giving that man the AK. What a round from DreamHack. That's exactly what Sprout needed to get them back on track in this one. Last time between these two teams, it was Sprout who actually got 9 CT rounds. That's not even a possibility anymore, but they've got to get more than 4. Snatchy at the mid hasn't been having much impact, but he finally lands a shot with that AWP, giving his team the man advantage. Nip had been so good on those mid fights previously, and now they're starting to lose them. Faven takes a fight over at B. He wins that one. Nip are down in a 3v5. Not a good position for them.
No, this has been a big turnaround from Sprout. And now Rez, Knock, and Twist, they're looking for some sort of miracle to get them back into this round, and all they found is another headshot going in favor of Sprout, this time from Spiddy. as Knock and Twist looking for a final play into this B-bomb site. And look at the hold right now. Favin is going to gather that early information. There's no one actually in the site, but they're not going to be able to go for that smoke execute because that would give away their position. That would cost crucial seconds for the retake to come through and the rotations to arrive from Sprout. But it doesn't even matter. Twist goes down and now just leaves Knock on his own in a 1 versus 5. And there's just nothing he can do here. Surely at this point, Favin plays it to perfection, gets a 3K in the round, and it's Sprout on 5, starting to recover the CT half on what was a relatively slow start from the team overall. And NIP forced for the first time out, feeling the pressure for one of the first times here on this map. As you can see, the money is in the bin, so you can understand the reasoning behind this pause.
Yeah, they're just going to be buying pistols by the looks of it into this round. Sprout have gone back to that double AWP setup as well. Snatchy and Spitty both having a bit of impact in that round, finally getting some kills with those AWPs on the CT side. So it is indeed Deagles for NIP ahead of this one. Nork with only 1,950, can't even buy anything. And even after he fully saves, he's not going to get the AWP out in the next round, which is a bit of a shame. On the side, though, they don't have much on these two players around A. They do have a couple of nades, though, so it looks like Nip are going to try and sell a fake towards A with some nades and then maybe try and go for the fights. And Plopsky just absolutely dome Snatchy. That was an AWP holding the angle at mid, and Plopsky just nails it. That's a good start to the round. And now, if I was Sprout, I would not be taking too many aim fights, because if you lose another player, all of a sudden this round could collapse for you.
Yeah, that is a fantastic start for the Deagle, but DreamHack is walking up middle, he's ready. Dennis also following up the double D combos, slapping them down. And Sprout hold the man advantage, following up as well with Favin. And now the play into the B-bomb site. Favin has been fantastic in this position, so we'll get to see him in action yet again. Just absolutely destroying them. Twist on last bullet. Headshot connects. 6 rounds on the board now for Sprout. And what a comeback it has been on this CT side. I've enjoyed this from Sprout. I've enjoyed this turnaround from them. And it all spawns off that one round where DreamHack pops off. He's currently 10-8 on the board right now. Favin has certainly been playing well, and Dennis as well. They've been the 2 leading stars and the 2 leading figureheads right now for them. But DreamHack had that one big round, and I feel like that's allowed the momentum to shift in favor of Sprout. Now what I would love to see is Snatchy getting involved. I want to see Snatchy have a bit more impact, and I might just get my prayers answered in this round.
And Snatchy getting boosted up at short. Nip in the last couple of rounds haven't been as successful on these mid plays. Favin over at B has been having a really solid game as well, but this time Hampus wins that fight. And this is where Sprout are going to have some sort of response to that. Diha's still here towards B.
Snatchy.
A couple of smokes being thrown out at mid, and Snatchy really wants to find a fight, and he's going to get it. Rez jumps at just the wrong time. Snatchy is aware. Nice shot.
Yeah, I was trying to worry for him there. I was kind of seeing a world in which he gets peeked out from the angle that was his blind side. But luckily, he's presented an opportunity and he doesn't miss. He takes that chance and he wins the fight. Now man advantage is neutralized. Back to a 4v4, but Dennis is giving it away. Hampus, with his 2nd kill of the round, has secured another advantage for NIP. Heading into the late stages of round 14. We'll be turning that bomb back over to the A bomb site. Currently, there's only 1 player close to the vicinity, and it's Spitty. Boosted on top of the ticket box, but gets away from the flashbang, but is now forced to behind. Oh no, 2 headshots just immediately come through, and just like that, it's all on Snatchy to win the whole round. He needs all 5 kills, and like I said, going into this round, he had 4 of them, so this is almost impossible.
A misdirection, faking the drop down sound. That might work. No, oh, he was looking at connector, but he looks back in time. A couple of shots into the body as he steals Snatchy's AWP for the last round of the half. 8-6 for Nip right now. Sprout will be okay, I think, though. If they get 7 rounds, they'll be fine with that. They'll definitely be keeping themselves in this game. Are we really going to see a triple AWP setup, Dinko? It looks like it. Favin's been AWPing on B, peeking into the B apps. Snatchy has been around mid and short in some of these rounds, and Spitty's been playing on A. So 3 AWPs in play. What are Nick going to do against this? They're trying to go quickly, but Snatchy already prepared for the first fight, and Rez just crosses by. He gets the kill because of it. Snatchy still looking for this angle over connector, but he can't find it. So it's a 1-for-1 trade on the mid plays as Rez decides to back it up. Happens to push through B with his AWP, by the way.
Yeah.
What a madman.
He's got a lot of control, and the bomb is on the other end of this doorway. Currently, though, they do have Nok watching for this, so Favin might just meet a sticky fit. Yeah, he's had a long walk to his death. And that's all he will find. And now we are looking at NIP in the lead by 1 kill. But DreamHack could have changed that fact. Rez nearly caught sleepy, but wakes up in time to find the headshot, and Plopsky alone. You're around the with it. And Snatchy yet again left in an impossible clutch. It looks like NIP will be taking 9 rounds. In fact, it's almost confirmed. Snatchy is the only thing that stands between them and that 9th round, and they have 4 angry players looking to take him away. Snatchy will walk forward, hits the quick shot, but still so many more to find and vastly different positions to find them in. Currently, they've got Rez, who is repositioned from middle back to the ramp, 1 player on default, and 1 inside a CT spawn as well. So, winning this round with no utility apart from a flashbang, 5 HP. Good night, Snatchy. 9-6 at the half. NIP recover from their first map woes. It's time for a short break, but we'll see if NIP can continue their success and maybe force us to a 3rd map. the map of Mirage that has allowed NIP back into things, Alex, but still a lot to go. Still a lot to go. A few signs there from Sprout in the first half to show us that some of the individuals will be showing up, but is it enough, Alex?
We've got to wait and see. NIP with a slight lead, but one that is definitely not going to be easy for them to convert. We'll put it that way. Sprout putting some nades into the A site early, and normally it's Hampers who plays on this A bomb site, but right now it's Plopsky and Nork trying to hold it down, and with these early nades coming in, Plopsky's going to have a much tougher time of things.
Well, oh my, he's not going to have a time of things at all. He's out of there. It doesn't do anything. Twist now falling back to CT. Players running over the top of him. He does well to find another one there. 2 kills in the round is more than you could have ever asked from Twist in that position. And he makes up for the lack of work done by Plopsky. But it's a 3 versus 2. A man advantage still in play for Sprout. As Hampus and Rez try to scrap together what they can, but they will not be finding anything in this round. Rez is completely alone in this 1v3. He'll run towards the site. He'll tap that bomb, try and draw them into the open, but try as he may, this round will not go NIP's way.
Faven really having a strong performance here on Mirage. His play on the B site earlier was strong. Now he comes into this T side pistol with a quad kill. Just a nice fast play from Sprout, but one that also had the nades in there, right? They had the quick nades come through. That was definitely a good way for them to get onto the site so quickly because those smokes went down fast. MP9's pushing into Palace, though, and Twist has already won the initial duel. That's the only man on the A side of the map taken out of the action. Rez is going to upgrade to a Galil, and Sprout might feel a bit pressured now. They have no information on this A side of the map, so they might see if they can get an opening towards B.
Well, if they can find an opening into this B bomb site defense, that could turn things around. But instead, that's exactly what Sprout have done. They've turned this round around. They're not going to be going from B. They'll instead turn their attentions to the underpass. Faven, 17-9. He is one of those individuals I was talking about when I opened the second half, talking about how there were signs of life from a few of the individuals from Sprout. It has been quiet performance. I think Spitty and Snatchy fall into that category. DreamHack bar his big round has also been extremely quiet, especially in comparison to his performance the last time around when these two teams competed on Mirage. Look at the setup right now from Sprout. It's all across the map. They're trying to find some sort of information, trying to still figure out where they want to go with this one. NIP have not given them anything, and there's only 35 seconds left, and that was nearly another chance for a kill for NIP, but no kill will come on the server right now. Man advantage is still with Nip, and 27 seconds left on this clock. Sprout need to figure out what they're going to do, and they're just fumbling. It's another kill for NIP, followed up with a 2-man advantage, and now the pressure's really on.
Oh, they're getting the kills, though. They're getting the kills back. Still one more man, but Spitty gets it. It's into the 1v1. Spitty getting onto the site itself, but Nork is coming close. He's coming close by, and Spitty has to reposition. He's going to move to the right-hand side, but Nork should be aware of that. Once he spots where this bomb is, he knows that Spitty is most likely in CT. He knows that Spitty hasn't crossed back to the left side. So Nork is going to slowly but surely start to clear these angles. Still just with the dig. No kit in place, so he's got to just tap that bomb and try and take this fight. And he almost gets it, but the aim punch goes against him. Spitty racking up some really important frags there, and Sprout just about hold on.
I really don't like that round from Sprout. I feel like there's too much pressure in the final moments and on the final few players alive. Spitty in this case having to do a lot of work. He has been so quiet, and Sprout has not the best round. I think it is definitely time for a timeout. They only have one left, one pause left. Sprout is a team, we noticed they like to use their pauses, right? We know they like to pick up the pauses whenever they feel like maybe they're getting out of hand, maybe the team's getting too fired up or too emotional, and they want to bring it right up, back down to earth, right? Let everybody focus up, especially in this team. If they're all communicating in English, if things get a bit rough, if things are all over the place, communicating in your second language is only going to add a fuel to the fire, right? So you want to make sure everybody has a level head, they're zoned into the game, and they're ready to go.
Now, Nip realize they've got to do something a bit crazy in this round. They've stacked 4 towards the B side of the map. Snatchy spotting one man early, moving into the ladder room. Again, Sprout happy to take their time at the start of the round. As it gets later and later, though, they might have that previous one in the back of their minds where they nearly ran out of time. I'll let that happen again in this one. Popsky playing up close. He's going to have to commit to this position. There's a molly behind him, but the smoke will mean there are no fights to be had for now. Nork is the only player on the A side of the map, and Sprout are starting to sneak up that connector. Spitty alone on this side of the map. Plopsky's played that so well, though. He's tucked into the corner, and Plopsky, well, he's starting to do some damage. Spitty, though, realizing there might be a couple of players on this B side of the map. He gets traded, but Sprout should be able to get onto A.
Babin walking forward and swinging out wide. It's Nook with a headshot on the Deagle. It's still a 3v3. The Snatchy, oh my god, he's looking so rough right now. You don't like to highlight bad performances from players, but those are kills. They're just unforgivable. This round should still be won by Sprout, but just imagine that in a gun round. Imagine that's a duel that costs you such a crucial round. Something that just cannot happen, and they might still lose this one. Fabin under the wood. Rez walking forward now, 1 versus 1. He doesn't know where Twist is. He gets up the ladder. Fabin will lose the duel, and Twist runs to the bomb. Is there enough time for it? I think there is. I think he's got enough time for sure at this point. And Sprout, I have to say, those rounds are ones you cannot lose.
Yeah, I feel like DreamHack got baited into that peak from the site there in the 2v2, because Rez fired a couple of shots at him from connector, from a slightly elevated spot on connector on top of the box. So that's what DreamHack was looking for. He was looking to pre-aim that spot, but Nip had already started pushing the site, so he just swings straight into their crosshair, not ready for that angle. I think if he just sits back on the site and waits for his teammate to take the fight first, they can probably work together. But he goes for the fight, he loses it, and that puts Fabin in a really tough spot in that 1 versus 2. Early aggression from Nip, though. 2 players boosted up into the B apartments, and Sprout are going to try and come right back at them with 4 players.
Oh, Plopsky. I was getting worried there that DreamHack was about to walk through the smoke, but in fact, DreamHack is the player that comes out worse for wear. Down to 21 HP. Everybody is so low on Sprout. NIP looking like they're going to be finding 11 that nade. That's going to finish the job, surely. Good night, DreamHack. Sleep well.
You wonder the bomb behind.
Yeah, the bomb is in the apartments. They do need that. That is something they do need, Alex. But maybe Sprout have 0 confidence in themselves. Maybe they feel like they're never going to even get near the bomb site. They might not be wrong in assuming that.
All right.
I'm like, oh, okay, 1 second. We don't have the bomb. Let's go back and get that. Throw the utility on in. Maybe we could just hit this B bomb site with some fire and fury. This is actually just a 200 IQ play, Alex. One that we just could not see. And this is nearly working out. Spitty's close to hitting the shot in towards the kitchen. And now the attack from Sprout into the B bomb site. Plopsky now pulling himself over. There's a kill on Spitty. Could he get the follow-on kill as the bomb plant will come through? That's more than enough done for Sprout already. And I don't think they'll be getting much more than this, though. Dennis stuck around the corner with the Deagle. Maybe he can walk away with Plopsky, but other than that, it's not going to be much for Sprout, but not bad. I mean, considering what was playing out in the last few moments there, the fact they get a bomb plant and potentially a chance to win the round is rather impressive.
Yeah, it was a big old investment from Sprout. The return on investment is okay for them getting that bomb plant. Their money is still in that spot where you could get baited into buying, but do you really want to go for it? Might be better to just go for the pistols. And looks like Sprout agree with me. They're 11-8 down. There's really not much more room for error at this point, and they are aware of that. I've got to say, Nork has slowed down a little bit as this game has gone on. He had a really good start to the game. Now he's got that ult back in his hands, and he's almost got a kill towards mid. Rez playing up close and personal. Needs to be a little careful. Some angry guns coming at him, but Twist, 2 kills with that nade. Oh no, Fabin. Well, he nearly died to the nade. Hampers just shot him anyway. Only 2 Sprout players remaining, and this time round, pistols not really posing as much of a threat.
Yeah, not much of a threat at all. And it's 12 rounds for NIP. What a flip reverse for kind of what we were talking about before we enter this series. When we take a look at the veto overall, we see Mirage come back in as the pick for NIP. We talked about the performance of DreamHack, maybe just, even though he's a great player, it's still such a good performance that it's hard to see him replicate that. And so now we look at this and we see the loss on Mirage and we say it is a bit of an outlier for Mirage, for NIP.
There's no way Nork meant to push this. He missed the jump and it works out for him. Nork gets that first kill. I'm pretty sure he missed the jump, but he'll take it.
He did. He's missed the jump and he decided, well, at this point I might as well push underpass, right? And he gets a kill from it. Luckily, Snatch is going to pull one back for Sprout. But that's a funny note to take a look at. That's just kind of ridiculous. But that's the thing. Nork making the best out of a bad situation. The markings of a great player.
Hey, you got to be ready for it. Oh, nice shot from Spitty. Gets in behind them. Again, the bomb is over on the A side right now. That's a pretty deep smoke, though. Twist is thinking of pushing this. This is so ballsy. Twist in behind them. He gets the free kill. Great play from Twist. Great awareness on the situation. But the A site is fairly empty. Only Hampus here. Sprout have a pretty good chance of getting the bomb down at least.
Snatchy, oh my god, what a shot from Snatchy. Nork will pull it back. DreamHack now on a 1 versus 2. Can he win the round for his team? He had a chance, but he was in the open, and that allows Twist to take the immediate trade. That's still a sick shot from Snatchy, but it's not going to be enough to deliver the round win, unfortunately. Sprout get the bomb up down. They get it close down to the 1 versus 1, but Twist just coming in, had the better position, just had the good timing with DreamHack caught in the open. And there's 13 rounds for NIP. Now 3 away from victory. Money, it's there in terms of being able to buy AKs, Alex, but you're going to be lacking that utility. You're not going to have the ult for Snatchy. What's the decision here from Sprout?
Gotta say, Twist has been super solid for them. Making that play as well just shows the confidence that he clearly has, that he's got the right read there. And that economy situation you were talking about, they've gone for the half buy on the Sprout side, just the pistols, looking to set up this play into A. Smoke's going down early. Currently it's Hampus and Rez there, and Spitty has been dealt with at mid. So no flanks to speak of, just a full-on A play, and the spacing is way off.
Oh, it is. And Rez, well, he's there. Hampus following up as well. I mean, there's absolutely nothing you could do here, Sprout. You've given them all the chances, 1 by 1, easy pickings. NIP with 14 rounds, and that round, it just felt like there was never a chance for Sprout. It just felt like there was never going to be a chance for Sprout. And we take a look at what Sprout have available. It is going to be the AWP for Snatchy, the AK-47s. We're finally getting the buy back in, but it feels like it's the last stand. They don't do anything here, Alex. Then we're looking at NIP taking Mirage.
If this were a movie, this would be the point where Sprout realized they have to win every round in regulation to get it back. This is where the stand starts for them, and Snatchy's been able to win that early AWP fight at mid. Again, he's been very, very inconsistent. Look at that from DreamHack, though. He spotted them. He could make the call to come back to A, but Hampus has pushed all the way through the round. This is scary.
He'll have the bomb, Alex, if he continues to walk forward. The bomb is right there. No one's covering it.
Wait, is DreamHack coming back from Palace?
Coming back. He is coming back, but it doesn't matter.
Oh,
Hampus has already got around the corner, and he's going to say it's clear. So eventually, DreamHack has to be the player to pick up the bomb now. Right now, Sprout are just playing across the map. They've had 2 picks. They're not overcommitting yet, but Hampus is just like, guys, the bomb's over here. We have the bomb right now. There's no need to give them any fights. Just try and play as safe as you can. Eventually, they're going to have to come back and get this bomb. And that's when the sirens all sound, but Snatchy makes the play up short. That does cost him his life. And Sprout, they might still lose. Just win the round based on kills. Oh, this is kind of ridiculous. Finally, Hampus is going to get his reward for his patience and his push at the start of the round. But it's a 2v2. What a crazy round this has played out to be, but DreamHack finally moving forward, but he gives away that he's in spawn by throwing that HE grenade. It doesn't matter at the moment, though, because Hampus has already fallen back down mid, so they're giving the bomb back to the T side. They still have a chance, but 20 seconds, Alex. There's no time to get to a bomb site. They've lost it.
They're going to have to rush B quickly, and they're going to have to hope there's no one here. Even then, it's going to come down to the wire. They might have time for the plant if they get this kill. Dennis gets the headshot. 6 seconds. Oh, Dennis gets them both. I think there may have been time for the plant either way, but Dennis doesn't give a damn. He's just going to shoot you in the head.
Well, that's one way of doing it, Sprout. That was one of the weirdest rounds of Counter-Strike I have seen in European Counter-Strike for a very long time.
They mollied the site as well.
Oh,
if he stayed alive, it was 100%.
Oh, that would have been the round for NIP. That was almost a sure thing. And while Snatchy with the headshot res goes down early on into the round here, Sprout with a lit resurgence on Mirage, but they'll take it. They'll take every round they can get here.
Not again, Hampus. You can't get away with it again. But he can, because there's no one there to stop him. Nork missing a shot over at B. He goes back for more, and he wins it the second time of asking. Now, this time, the bomb is being recovered. So Hampus at least won't get the bomb away from Spiddy, who's going to move back to mid. He still might get an all-important flank in this round. Twist just gets gifted a fight against Dihar. That's a fight that you can't really be that confident in taking. And with Hampus on the flank as well, NIP have all the info and the man advantage. They've got to be feeling good right now. But the push into connector could be the exact play that counters Twist.
Twist. Oh, the headshot. Spiddy with the immediate kill. And now a 3v3 with a bomb going down. Hampus, oh, he's coming through. He's got nearly 2 kills. That might just be it. NIP down to the 2 versus 1. Somehow Favin is gripping this round, but he just swings out into the op.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. You've won the round, Knock. There we go. Oh, this is just a chaotic final few rounds at the moment, but NIP, they'll be up to 15. It's just mental right now, Alex. You can see even Knock doesn't know what's going on.
Very confusing, some of these rounds. So there's the shot from Snatchy to begin with. That made sense. This fight from Naught was a bit strange over at B-Apps. And then Hampus, for a second, I thought this flank wasn't going to work because they just walked onto the A site. But luckily, he still found an unexpected angle. Nip up to 15. And this time, surely Hampus isn't going to push ramp again. He might be doing it, actually. Spiddy's still taking mid for Sprout, though, pushing straight into the connector. Hampus is here close by, but this time Dihar's ready for it. Snatchy's over at mid. Just so much aggression from Sprout, and it pays off for them. Plopsky gets caught out early.
Well, NIP yet again fall to the early kill. That's something Sprout haven't been too bad at here on this T side. NIP haven't been giving them a lot of opportunities, and I have to say, Plopsky has been pretty quiet in this tournament so far. I will take a look at his statistics a little bit later on myself, just to paint that picture further. Hampus pulling the kill back though. Oh no, it's all falling apart for Sprout. 3v4. Looks like we're heading to map number 3 unless Favin can do even more. He's done so much in this map to try and make Sprout relevant, to at least keep them alive on this one. And it's now Favin hitting the deck. He was their talisman, but it looks like all their hopes are gone. Dennis pulled off a ridiculous round win not too long ago, but he's going to have to do the same here. 1 versus 3. They're all relatively low in HP. He has got an itchy grenade in his hand as well. Not that low, unless he was to land directly on top of them. And even then, with the CSGO nades, you never really know. And Dennis now moving up through connector. Shut down 16-9 for NIP. They will force us to a 3rd map. This series will go the distance. And NIP, they wake up. The individuals show up. Not perfect. A lot of moments there, Alex, that could have been better from NIP, especially on that CT side, tightening up those early rounds. But nonetheless, NIP, they get the job done. They show the Mirage loss was a one-off. And now we head on to map number 3.
The end of that game, though, it really did just feel like it was just everyone fighting. Like, no one seemed to care about their own life. They were just like, let's fight all the time and see who's got the better players. And that was always going to end up in those sort of 50-50 rounds. But eventually, Nip only needed a couple to get the win. Yeah, Inferno's going to be a weird one. I really don't know which way that one's going to go, because we didn't see that much structure, I think, from either team here. Inferno is the map you need that structure, so I don't know, man. It's going to be fun, that's for sure.
Based on individuals, I think NIP have the slight edge, Alex. There's only one way to find out, though, as we head into map number 3. Inferno coming up after the break.